It's Super Freddy! Told ya! Comic books was bad for ya!
Hello, everybody. I'm John.
And Justin.
And we're the Gore
Goblins.
And we're finally back
Again.
to kick some tail. DK. Wait,
Donkey Kong.
Chunky's dead.
Chunky's fuck. God damn it.
Gore Goblins. Chunky's dead. There we go. See, that's fine.
We didn't do it. We're not admitting to murder.
It doesn't work.
Accidents happen.
Anyway, today, after 2 weeks,
and the Thanksgiving of people
we're finally
gobbling up those turkeys.
I'm gonna kill you after we're done recording.
I thought about that all day, and I've been waiting all this time to say it.
Gobbling up that turkey. That's listen.
Get it?
I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. It was a good 4-day weekend for me, where I didn't really get to enjoy myself.
It was 4 days?
Yeah.
It didn't feel like 4 days.
Yeah. I think I played a little bit of Baldur's... Well, no, I played Baldur's Gate 3 on a work night, which was a mistake, because I lost track of time. And I was like, oh, man, it's 1:30. I should probably go to bed. That was a mistake. And then outside of that, I mean, I don't know. I watched Martyrs twice. What a great Thanksgiving movie, Martyrs. And I watched that twice. Needless to say, I can't wait to talk about that one eventually. That would be because that's part of the French extremity movement, and we already did High Tension. And Justin is a little devil on my shoulder telling me that we should do Irreversible, which is... I mean, yeah, but it's not really horror. It's just kind of like fucked up. But I guess, I guess. Whatever.
So is a Serbian film.
Yeah, well.
That's on the list.
Did you see Mike Flanagan's, who's the director of Dr. Sleep, which is a movie I like a lot. I didn't think I'd like it a lot.
Oh, the Shining sequel?
Yeah, the Shining sequel. Dr. Sleep is good. Like, you know why? Because they kill a fucking kid in a really brutal way. And I'm like, yeah, that automatically, I'm just like, you have no fear then. Good. And Mike Flanagan, he also did the Midnight Mass and Haunting of Hill House or whatever on Netflix. I think that's what they're called. And then more recently, he did the Fall of the House of Usher, which I haven't watched any of those, but I have to now because he released, he joined Letterboxd recently, and he released like his gateway horror movies, right? Mm-hmm. The first movie is Gremlins. Guess what comes immediately after that?
Something fucked up.
Martyrs. And I like fucking Martyrs. And because I saw it on Twitter and I was like, that's not real.
It's like, okay, you had fun with Gremlins. Now here you go.
I was like, I saw the list on Twitter and I'm like, that's not real. There's no way that's real. And then I texted Kale because he still uses Letterboxd, and I was like, please tell me this is real. And he's like, it is. So it's Gremlins, Martyrs, Funny Games, which is also a rough ride, Imprint, which is a short movie that Takashi Miike made, Antichrist, which is Lars von Trier. I'm surprised he didn't put House that Jack built. Last House on the Left, the original, the Wes Craven original, Cannibal Holocaust,
of course,
a Serbian film,
of course,
Terrifier 2, and Possession. Those are all the ones, and I feel like he went out of his way to pick like movies that are probably the best of their given subgenre. Like Gremlins is comedy horror, Martyrs is French extremity, Funny Games is psychological horror on like a level that is unseen, Imprint looks like body horror, Antichrist is Lars von Trier. That's its own fucking, that's its own genre. Last House on the Left is, I don't know, rape and unsettling. Yeah. Cannibal Holocaust is obviously the best cannibal film. Nothing's ever going to touch it. Eli Roth tried and failed. And then a Serbian film is... It's a Serbian film.
Yeah.
Terrifier 2 is probably slasher, and then Possession is probably psychological as well. I just think it's so funny that Martyrs is on here. That's the funniest thing to me. Because, to talk about it for a little bit, just because I can't get this movie out of my head. It's not as extreme as it was sold to me. Because, you know, you hear about, like, because we watched Elvis the Aliens video, and then you watched it before I did. And then I was like, well, I'll get to it later. I don't really know if I want to put myself through that. But then as I realized that I really like fucked up movies for some reason, Martyrs became like, okay, it's climbing up to like what I need to watch next. And then I was in Austin, found it at Waterloo, bought it, and it's like an Australian reprint that's region free. So I bought it, and then I watched it, and then I watched it again. I almost watched it again immediately after finishing it. But
that was like me with that Doom movie.
I waited a couple days. You watched it twice in a row?
I watched it like every day for a month.
Are you talking about the
one with The Rock?
The one with the classic. All right, the one with Carl Urban.
The one that's actually not bad. People are just too bitchy.
But
have you seen the other one they made?
But yeah, I watched it and I was like, okay, this isn't as bad. I will say, I don't think any movies made me squirm as much as Martyrs did, because god damn it, there's even on a rewatch, man, there's parts of that movie that are fucking hard to watch. But like by the time you get to the ending, when it gets to its most extreme moments, I feel like that didn't hit me as hard as the stuff that happens early on. But all in all, the movie's still very like, I don't know. My point is that it's not as extreme as I thought it was going to be, but it's very effective. I will say it's very effective, and I hope that next time we do the fucking, pick wheel, that Martyrs winds up being the one, because it'll give me an excuse to watch the American remake, which I've heard is fucking terrible. And I would just love to do an episode where I gush about the original and shit all over the remake, which, that's what we love to do here.
Basically did for The Grudge.
Yeah, basically what we did for The Grudge, yeah.
Everything after the first two sucked.
Yeah. What a time to be alive, huh? Anyway, so yeah, that's how I spent my Thanksgiving.
I didn't really watch any movies these past 2 weeks. I mean, I watched Godzilla vs. Kong again the other day.
Yeah, you got to feel something, right?
I love that movie.
Yeah. Can't wait for Godzilla -1. I think it's coming out this Friday. Actually, I gotta look at see if there's any.
And then every
shit.
other time was spent playing a new Naruto game.
They made another one?
Yeah, it's just like for the anniversary of the show or whatever.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But there's a weird thing in the game because like all the games are like copy and paste with each other basically.
Yeah.
So I was confused while playing it, because some of the voice lines sounded so fucking off and bad.
Oh, you know why, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fucking AI shit.
Yeah.
Like, why would you have them record the lines and then choose not to use it?
The voice actors are still alive. And the voice actress for Naruto specifically, I think, said, yeah, fuck this. I didn't record this line.
That.
She was pissed, dude. Because that goes against union. That goes against the union rules. You can't do that shit. They just fucking finished the strike. And they're still, doing that shit. And it's just like, come on, man. So that's a little shitty. And the fact that it's not advertised that way, so people would just buy it thinking it's like a new Naruto, instead of like being able to vote with your wallet and be like, oh, this has AI voiceover? Why the fuck am I going to play it then if it's not the original cast, And
it's not even on all the lines. It's just like they picked certain ones to change out.
That's weird. That is weird. That's stupid. Why would you... Whatever. I'm not... Listen... Maybe when we become Gore Goblins LLC and we become a conglomerate corporate empire, maybe then I'll understand. But until that happens, I will never understand why it's like that.
What else did I do? Did the new raid in Warcraft.
I watched Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, and then that's about. I think that's all I did. I played. Did I play anything? I think I started Super Mario RPG.
Nice.
And that might have been it.
I saw this post. It was like a clip of a movie. I don't know what movie it was because I don't remember the title.
Classic.
But there's these people all sitting on a train, and it's like the train stopped and it's dark.
Yeah.
And everyone's quiet. But a woman has her baby and it starts crying, so they kick her out of the train saying, get the kid out. Mm-hmm. And then the mom's like, no, I'll go with her, blah, blah, blah. I guess there was some monster in the tunnel or whatever. I don't
Classic,
know.
yeah.
It just felt like a Quiet Place ripoff movie. But anyways, that's not the point. The point was there was this dude commenting on it saying, "Oh wow, you have to kill a kid in a movie to get shock value. Like,
Oh.
what's the point of killing children in movies? Like, how is this what these moviegoers seek out to see?" And it's like, you're reading way too much into that.
Bro, that discourse was all over Twitter when Terrifier 3's teaser got released because it's
Oh, yeah.
implied it's implied that Art kills a kid, and everybody was like, "Why do you have to kill children? It's just shock value." And I'm like, man, you would not have survived the Blob, or I don't know, Funny Games or Martyrs or any movie
And
where
it's not like it even
kid is in harm.
showed anything. Like the fucking the screen blacks out and you just hear the monster coming.
Yeah,
like-
I don't know. I think people are
That was
pussies.
just
That's
sitting
what I
there
think. That's
thinking,
what I think.
I've seen so many worse child deaths in movies. Like I don't remember if this is the movie it's in, but
It's art, dude.
I think it's a movie called Feast, where the first movie is like they're stuck in a bar, and then as they progress further with the sequels, the monsters are all like roaming the city or whatever.
Classic.
But this dude rushes out to go save a baby, but as he's running back, he realizes he can't run super fast while holding the baby, so he chucks it up in the air, and it just falls back down to the ground. And the next scene is just the monsters fucking chowing down.
That's awesome. That's
And then, of
cool.
course, there's the baby scene in Human Centipede 2.
All right, we don't have to talk about
Yeah,
that.
we don't have to talk about that one, but
no, we don't. No,
there's
I don't.
worse.
I don't want to watch Human Centipede. I don't. That might be my. Yeah, I watched Martyrs, and I'm like, that might be my limit. And then I thought about Human Centipede, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. It's
I mean,
not
the
my
first one is just completely tame compared to the
limit.
second
I
one.
don't want to think about
And then the third one is just stupid.
it. Good. Okay, but yeah, no, kids dying in horror. I mean, what's the point of horror if you're not going to have everybody at risk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the horror, is that anybody can die. And, it works in some, like if, I mean, shit, Michael Myers killed kids in Halloween Kills.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was going to say, I'm like, it goes against his character, but not really, because he killed those kids in Halloween Kills. But in 2018, you remember he passes by that crying baby and just
Yeah.
looks at it? And I'm like, I don't know, Michael. If I were you, I would have just, that would have been it.
I mean, even Halloween 5, how viciously he goes after Jamie.
Yeah, like I don't know, man.
Like-
it's that's the thing, is if horror makes you uncomfortable, it's doing its job. Like
There's nobody
know,
safe
man.
in horror. Just
it's
deal
like
with it.
it's like people talking about explicit rape scenes in horror. As long as things on the set were amicable, and as long as it wasn't just like that the actress wasn't blindsided by it, and that everything was like handled properly, I'm okay with it. I understand not wanting to see it. I get it. But, that's horror, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, horror isn't pleasant. There's a reason it's called horror. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just, I get it. I mean, I get it. There's stuff that's like too much for people that they might not want to see. It's like, veterans walking out of Saving Private Ryan because of that opening D-Day sequence. I get it. But it's like,
It's like the comments I read on some of the fucked up videos I find. They're like, man, I'm all for looking at fucked up videos, but if there's a kid involved, I don't want to see it. It's like, what's the difference between watching a kid and an adult get chopped up?
why are you watching kids get chopped up, Justin?
I'm not watching it. I'm saying
Why are
that.
you watching it? Now, animals, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't want to see animals.
Like, even in movies, I'm like, I don't want to see an animal get hurt. I don't want to see that. That makes me sad. That makes me El Sado, if you will. Anyway,
It's like, you think a cartel has care because it's a kid?
you think a cartel has a heart?
Yeah.
The next Pixar movie, but where a cartel has a heart and decides to do good in the world. But anyway, besides that,
Yeah,
we're here to
besides
talk
that.
about a movie, and it's the 5th movie in The Nightmare on Elm Street, that franchise,
Not going to say
and it's
5
called
Nights at Freddy's.
The Dream Child.
The Dream Child.
It's I don't know, man.
The acting.
It's all right. I don't know. Like, I will say I liked Alice a little more
Yeah,
because she
was
actually had a
better.
character, and it wasn't just
Oh, here you go.
her being a cadaver for everybody else. It was she actually had a character, so that was neat. Everything else about the movie, though, I don't know, man. It does have my favorite kill, which is Rick getting Cronenberged with the motorcycle. That was nice. And then that's it. that might be all I have to say about it.
I mean, the set pieces were cool.
Yeah, the dream stuff was cool.
The part where Freddy comes back to life and then screams, "It's a boy!"
Yeah,
that
that
whole
was
scene
neat.
looked cool, and that little baby Freddy freaked me out.
Oh, the little kid.
Yeah.
Oh no, the little
the baby
the
Freddy
little
that crawls
fetus
into
Freddy.
that crawls in the shirt and shit.
Yeah, that shit was. See, practical effects, especially in movies this fantastical, they really pull a lot of the legwork, and I'm happy they do.
And then just the whole environment in the ending sequence,
Like the chapel and everything.
Yeah, all that shit.
Yeah, that was cool. Too bad the rest of the movie happened. So
Yeah,
the movie starts out with like
graduation.
this. No, it starts
No.
out with that like sex scene or whatever, where it's just you know what I'm during the opening credits.
Oh yeah, it's fucking Rick and Alice.
Yeah, and then Alice goes into the shower,
Yeah,
and then she has
the-
that nightmare of the shower tub filling, or the shower thing. Not really a tub. I guess it is. It's filling up with water, and she can't breathe and
It was
shit.
just a stand-up shower that filled up with water.
And then she wakes up. But then she's like, Freddy's coming back. Fuck,
Then they graduate.
And then they graduate. And apparently there was some stuff cut out. I don't remember. I looked all this up 2 weeks ago. There was some stuff cut out relating to the graduation stuff in particular. Like, the side characters were fleshed out a little bit more, is basically what it was. And then all that was cut out for pacing, I think. I don't remember exactly, but I know.
Yeah, the whole graduation scene just seems out of
Yeah, it feels
out of order.
It feels a little rushed, right?
Yeah. But I guess they wanted to blow that pop stand or whatever the fuck Rick said.
Yeah, whatever he said, I don't remember.
Oh yeah, this one has Super Freddy. I forgot.
Yeah, everybody's favorite character, and also that one and that part. What's his name? The comic book guy uses his Dream Warrior powers because I guess he has them, and no one else does, but he's got them.
Because he's an artist. He's creative. He knew it all in his mind.
See, that's a good way to look at it, Justin. I'm happy you're looking at it that way. But yeah, so,
And then plus he got mad.
and then he turns into some fucking shitty fucking comic
He looks
book
like
OC.
the bounty hunters from Critters.
Yeah, a little bit. He reminds me of fucking god damn it. He like his costume design reminds me of somebody in particular, and I can't think of it. And then he's got like two guns, and then he shoots Freddy, and Freddy's like, "Oh fuck!" And then he comes back, and he's like, "Oh, I'm Super Freddy," and he makes a fucking Superman pun, and then he kills him. I like the way he kills him though, because he turns
Chops him up in paper.
chops him up into pieces, paper pieces, and I'm just like, that's cool. I think the movie was supposed to be more graphic too, and then they cut all that out because you couldn't have fun in the '80s, not in Reagan's America. Thank God they shielded all those poor young eyes from horror. Meanwhile, you had the crack epidemic and the AIDS epidemic and all that other shit. But thank God our movies didn't have gore in them. Jesus Christ. Every time I think about it, I just get mad. Anyway, so, because we could have had so much, this stuff could have been so much better. And here we are talking about neutered fucking slasher movies from the 80s, and it makes me sad. It wouldn't have, made these movies masterpieces, but it would have made them better. It would have made them more fun.
Yeah, Friday the 13th.
Part 7 in particular. But yeah, I don't know. There's that one. There's the girl getting her fucking
Gets stuffed with food.
And then does her head explode?
No, she just chokes to
She
death.
just chokes to death, right? Yeah. And she dies, and then Freddy's makes a pun, probably. I don't remember what it is exactly. Rick's death is the coolest
He said,
because
"Bon appetit, bitch."
that's right. And then Rick's death is the coolest because he turns into a Cronenberg
He became a
prop
transformer.
thing. And I think those are the only 3 deaths, huh? Is that it?
Does he really only kill 3 people?
I think that's it. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
that's it.
because that one girl with the weird ass voice doesn't die.
No, she gets lost for a while.
Yeah,
but
she's
the
fucking-
movie forgets about her for a little bit, but she doesn't die.
Freddy tries to get her, but he doesn't.
Yeah, and then there's like this whole subplot with Amanda Kruger. Again, yeah. Because that's the thing is that at the beginning, Alice imagines herself like in the dream she's Amanda Kruger. She's a nun. And then like, there's
Robert Englund was walking around in the crowd.
yeah, there's this really ham-fisted dialogue where there's those 2 guards counting. He's like, "Hey, you're making me lose count." They're trying to count how many maniacs there are. He's like, "Nah, there's 100 of them, man." And I'm just like, "Okay,
Let's just get out."
That's cute. Okay, the 100 maniacs. Ooh, like okay, you're so smart, movie. Like fucking ham-fisted, like the most fucking forced dialogue I could think of. To be fair, it was a dream. I get it, but it's just so funny to me that like that's how they do it. Like, oh, there's 100 of them, bro. Just forget about it.
I mean, that's what they did.
Anyway, and then I guess, because Alice is pregnant, and I guess Freddy's way of getting back to life is he starts invading the dreams of her baby, but that's symbolized through her getting raped as Amanda Kruger. Wes Craven would be so proud, but that's how it happens, and then. Yeah, he comes back to life, and he's like, "It's a boy," and then he kills Rick first.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the movie happens. And I don't know. I mean, again, I like Alice better.
And the whole way to stop Freddy this time was putting fucking Amanda Kruger's spirit to rest.
Yeah.
And that was why.
But doesn't Amanda like take?
And then she like absorbs
She
Freddy's
absorbs him, right?
evil or whatever.
One part that I thought was cool effects wise. Because Alice keeps having hallucinations of her unborn child. I think his name's Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah, she keeps having hallucinations of him. Because, of course, everybody thinks she's crazy, even though, like, she survived this shit already. And everybody's like, "Oh, you're fucking crazy, Alice. Like, Freddy's dead." Ugh. And she's like, "No, I'm telling you, he's not. He absolutely is still alive. And he's gonna fuck you."
Oh, because Rick was the only one that knew about it.
Yeah.
Her other friends weren't involved.
But, because doesn't she explain it to them and they all just kind of look at her weird?
Well, comic book guy believes it.
And the other ones are just like kind of like rolling their eyes and she's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm telling the truth."
Especially the one that talks stupid.
Yeah, well, you can't win them all. But she, but yeah, and then there's that part where like, I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to be rebirthed through the baby, right? Isn't that what he's trying to do? Like he's trying to invade his dreams, and then like somehow she's gonna pop out a little Freddy or something. Wasn't that like?
He was like gonna take his soul and then go into the baby's body.
Yeah. So anyway, this boy's like, "Hey, teach me how to Freddy."
Teach me to be like you.
Yeah, the fucking shit ass voice. God, that part makes me unhappy. I think it's so dumb. I don't know. Like, a little boy in Freddy Krueger makeup trying to do a Robert Englund accent reminds me of me trying to do a Robert Englund accent when I was a child. It's like when you were a little boy and you'd be like, "I'm Spider-Man," or you'd be like, you'd talk like the Green Goblin. That's probably what my ass did. Is my ass was like, "Attack is hard" when I was like 8 years old or whatever, and I don't like to think about those days. So seeing a little kid just go, "Let me show me how to be like you, Krueger." I'm just like, ugh, don't do that. I don't like that. It makes me cringe.
Every time the kid was on scene, I just kept thinking of Children of the Corn.
He looks like what's that kid in Meet the Robinsons? What's his name? Goob?
I never watched that movie.
What the fuck? I just know the meme where it's like, where he's like walking in school and he's like, "Everybody hates me," and then everybody's like, "Hey, Goob, what's up?" Like everybody's all really nice to him and shit. That's what that kid looked like to me. He looked like that kid. And that's like, 'cause he has like these bags under his eyes and shit. And I don't know, maybe that's supposed to be that I don't know, maybe it's supposed to like symbolize something. I don't fucking care. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. It's not that deep. But
There was a recent Children of the Corn movie too.
yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, I watched. What the fuck's his name? Papa Meat.
Papa Meat do it. Yeah, that's the one I was just making fun of all the kids. That's a good one. But yeah, one part that I liked effects wise was when what was it? When Freddy like
Makes the pizza.
no, he tries to that was in 4, wasn't it?
No,
When he's got the meatball pizza and he's eating the souls.
I don't remember. I mixed both of these.
The movies
together.
blend together. I was talking with Kale about it. He was like,
I
"Yeah,
think it was this one.
the movies
think.
kind of are interchangeable." Because I thought both Rick getting Cronenberged and the girl choking to death after getting stuffed were in Dream Master, but Dream Master is the Roach Hotel one, and I thought the Roach Hotel was in Dream Child. See, so both of the movies just kind of blend, and I don't like it. But
At least they go together.
yeah, which is more than you can say for other movies.
I mean, I didn't hate this one. Like, it's been my favorite one aside from 1 and 2 so far.
I mean, it's weird, but I mean, the only thing I like from it is the effects, and the effect that I like a lot is when Freddy's like trying to merge with Alice or whatever,
Oh yeah, that was cool.
and I think Freddy was played by like an actual amputee, and see that's what's cool about practical effects too, is it gave people that like normally couldn't work in that industry a way to work. You know what I mean? Like. I'm trying not to sound like ableist or anything, but like, you know, I mean,
That's like
it gave them a job, and that's cool. I think that's really awesome.
it's like the Snow White remake, not bothering to hire actual dwarves. They're just gonna make animated ones again.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you doing? Like, come on. It's like, because in the Thing as well, when the doctor, I don't remember his fucking name. It's not Windows, but it's he tries to do the defibrillator, and then the monster eats his arms. That's a real fucking amputee, and then he's wearing a mask of the dude's face, and it looks really good because practical effects are good.
So who was infected last?
In what, the Thing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think Childs or McCready are the Thing.
No.
I think if we're going by prequel rules, which I hate to do, Childs is not the Thing because he still has his earring. So unless the Thing learned from his mistake in the prequel and grabbed Child's earring and put it in, because I guess he would know how to do that if he knows how to do everything else that a human can do.
No, he was infected. Man, I watched this like really long, in-depth video about somebody analyzing the end of the movie and all these little clues they point out.
But see, that's the thing, is like John Carpenter didn't write it to have a definitive ending. He wrote it to be
Just, oh, you don't know. Who could
like,
it be?
I mean, it's cool to overanalyze and try to figure it out, but that's not how he wrote the movie. That wasn't his intent, was to be like, oh, I'm pulling a fast one on you.
And
was-
the dude said his biggest clue is the beginning of the movie where McCready pours the liquor into the computer. He's like, the liquor's his continuous weapon through this movie. And it's like...
Okay, that's more of a thematic thing, though.
Yeah.
That's not really
It's not...
That's not really like a...
I think it was because he was saying Childs wouldn't drink from the same drink because they already established that rule. And it's
Brother, they're both gonna die. Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think is gonna happen? They're both gonna die. But I think the game, which is canon technically,
yeah, the sequel game.
I think in that one, Childs was infected. But if we're going at just looking at the Thing as its own thing, then to me it doesn't really matter who's infected and who isn't, because they're both gonna die anyway. And it's that kind of hopelessness that they went through all this, and it's like, well, all we can do, like, we're too paranoid to relax now, you know. And I think that's that's the central theme of the movie, is paranoia. So it's like the perfect way to end it, I think. Instead of him just being like, "Oh, I killed everybody and I'm a hero," I don't think that would work. that wouldn't work for that kind of movie. And that's why John Carpenter's a fucking genius, and he should have gotten his flowers a long time ago, but he didn't. And that makes me very upset. And that's why I think it's so funny when Guillermo del Toro was talking to him and told him, like, "Hey, I know the thing was poorly received when it came out, but like, how do you feel now when it's looked back on as a classic? And John Carpenter just said, "What the fuck good does it do me now?" And then he's like, and then he ordered a glass of wine, or he ordered alcohol. I'm pretty sure. I think is how the story goes. And I'm like, that's a real dude. And then in a recent interview, he's like, "All I want to do is just fucking play video games and nothing else." He's like, I wish people would just leave me alone." And I'm just like, God, what a guy, what a fucking dude, what a solid dude. Because that is me as fuck. But yeah, I think that's really to go back to the original point. I think it's a good thing when people that normally wouldn't be able to work in that industry, much less get a job anywhere, because that's just how the world works. Unfortunately, I think practical effects give them that option, and I think that's cool. But yeah, that I did like that effect a lot, where they're like trying to merge or whatever, and then little baby Freddy's creepy.
Yeah.
Little fetus Freddy. That's what they called me in high school. But no, I don't hate it. It just feels kind of.
It's just there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I'll watch it if it's on, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it.
Yeah, like the first 3, I'll watch again. Like if I'm like want to watch a Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm watching one of the first 3. Everything after that, Dream Master's all right, and Dream Child kind of feels the same way, where it's like it's just kind of all right. I don't know. There's not really. I don't feel like there's a lot to say about it, because it's so similar to the last one.
Yeah.
In tone and style, because at this point we got fucking cartoon villain Freddy, where he's just twirling his mustache every time he kills somebody, and he makes puns all the time. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's the Freddy that everybody remembers. But it's just fine. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great.
Yeah.
It ain't no Space Jam, I'll tell you what.
Fuck Space Jam.
Space Jam's a classic, all right?
No.
I got it in 4K right there. You show your fucking mouth. Anyway, so, yeah, I don't know. It feels weird because, like, I don't even think we're, like, 30 minutes in, and there's not really much else to say about it.
Because what's the whole plot of the movie? It's just, oh, here's Amanda's ghost. Now we gotta find her corpse. Oh, baby Freddy. Oh, here's a kill. Some more fucking dialogue of somebody not believing Alice. Some more fucking drama because comic guy likes the girl who's forced to be a model or whatever.
Oh, he does. I don't even fucking remember that.
Yeah, that's the whole reason he got mad when Freddy dropped the fucking mannequin head or whatever. That was her.
Oh yeah, there is that also. There's also that weird scene where the girl's like gonna go to dinner and then like the doll falls and the head shatters.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I guess that's foreshadowing. I guess, but like,
who would have guessed Freddy would have turned her head into a doll?
Also, I feel like that would have made more sense if her head exploded, but she just chokes, and that's why I think I remember her head exploding, is because it was in my head because of that. But yeah, I mean, there's cool shots, there's cool, like, it's a competent film, and it's fine. It's just, I don't know, man. When you get this far into a franchise, it's hard to kind of keep the energy up. Which again, I'm gonna keep bringing it up. Which again is what's so impressive about Scream, is it's 6 movies in, and that's it. Unfortunately, it feels like 6 movies in, and it was still able to be entertaining. But I think that kind of owes to the fact that there's a very strong continuity there that's never broken. There's no like different timelines or any of that shit that kind of plagues like Halloween, for instance.
Yeah.
It's just a straight, like, we're holding to lore. And Child's Play is similar too. I need to say that too, because Child's Play is pretty fucking consistent.
Yeah.
Like every single one of those movies, I think Bride and Seed in particular are really fucking like good, because they're not afraid to just kind of be out there. Because I think they kind of like really grab hold of the premise of it's a killer doll and just kind of like make it its own thing.
Yeah.
And that's why those two are really good. But then, 10 years after that, you get Curse of Chucky, and it's like just a really fucking good horror movie, like a really good slasher on its own. And it's still like got the same continuity and shit, and that's why it's like, whoa, this is cool.
And then Colt does the same thing.
And then
even though
Colt's
we
great.
Start getting clones of Chucky.
And then, the
And then
TV show,
the
from
show-
what I've heard,
yeah,
is great.
The show's just a whole other thing.
So, I mean, Child's Play is another one of those franchises that I think is very consistent. 3 is a little weird, but that's just because Andy's played by somebody else. But, I mean, yeah, Bride of Chucky and Seed of Chucky, I think, are the sweet spot because they're like right in the middle of like horror and comedy, and it works. But that was already kind of a thing in 2, is that it was starting to lean into that comedic element more, with Chucky kind of like saying one-liners. But it works for the character because he's frustrated that he's still a fucking doll, and it's just so funny to see him just get mad about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Child's Play and Scream are probably the most consistent, like, big franchises, at least.
I used to think Child's Play 2 was the scariest when I was a kid.
I mean, that one is pretty good.
The whole ending scene just like stuck in my head for like a week.
Oh, when he's all melted and
Yeah,
shit?
and then when he crawls on the fucking...
That's fucking, yeah. No, it's good. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking awesome. Like, I love... Because I recently watched all of them, and I was like, God, these movies are fucking awesome. I can't believe I used to be scared of Chucky when I was little. Now he's just like a little bro, dude. I'd be like, hey, what's up, brother? Like I would love it.
I'd like be at the mall, being 6 years old, and walking to Spencer, and you see the dolls on the top of the fucking shelf and shit.
Yeah.
And, like, paranoid the entire time.
No, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, I mean, those movies are super consistent, and Scream is the same way. It's a shame they're never gonna make another Scream. It sure is a shame
Don't worry, they will.
that
They just gotta replace Jenna Ortega.
that you can't do that. All right, I don't want it anymore.
They're gonna write in that she died like in between them.
I don't want it. It's not just that. It's Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barrera, and Nev Campbell are probably not going to be in it. So what's the point? I'm not going to go see it for fucking Monica from Friends. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go see it because I like those movies, and I'm just like, it sucks, man. It fucking sucks.
You said Friends, and it reminded me of a stupid fucking meme I saw about what's his name, Matthew Perry.
No, you stop, all right?
It was funny.
We're going to
but
stop it
fucked up.
there. We're going to stop it there. I'm not speaking ill of the dead right now. I liked Matthew Perry a lot, all right? That's an off-podcast conversation, brother. But no, yeah, I'm real upset. I'm real upset because Melissa Barrera gets fired over bullshit, and then Jenna Ortega dropped out probably because of that. I know they're saying it's because of scheduling conflicts, but I don't believe it because they worked around her schedule last time. And then Nev Campbell is already on thin ice with Spyglass because they didn't want to pay her, which I know we talked about that when it came out, because it's just like... It's just like, how are you not going to pay the fucking the star? Like, what do you... That's like not paying Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. That's like not paying, fucking Nancy Thompson in Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Like, that's stupid. Or Heather Langenkamp. I got the characters mixed up. But I don't know. It's just stupid. And I think there's reports that they were already trying to lowball her again for Scream 7, but because Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega both dropped out, and because of the very intense fan backlash to those decisions, they're like, what the fuck do we do? And they're like freaking out, and they're like, God, we have to get Nev.
Now she
but
can
they're
just
not
be
going
like,
to.
well.
Yeah, right?
Guess you should have paid me.
Guess you should have fucking paid me. And man, it sucks because I was so excited because I'm like, oh, it's Christopher Landon. Like, he did Happy Death Day and Freaky. Like, I think that's probably a good pick for Scream because it can be like horror comedy. I'm like, that'll be awesome. And then they fucked it up. And then Spyglass was like, oh man, you're talking about geopolitical stuff? I can't have that. No. And then they just fucking fired her, and it's bullshit. Oh, it makes me so mad. I'm so upset. Anyway, Scream 6 has a pretty good, it feels like a good ending. Because Scream 6 has a good resolution. And that will forever just be the end of the franchise unless Spyglass sells off the rights and they make it at a better studio. A studio that's not going to fire its actors for speaking their fucking mind. That's, and not even speaking her mind. She was just, posting stuff. And they were like, well... Can't have that, unfortunately. I guess it's too much drama or whatever the fuck. Stupid move. Fumbled the bag hard. Scream 6 is one of the, like, highest grossing movies of the year. And you're just gonna fucking kill it like that. Y'all are stupid. Y'all are so stupid. One of the most consistent franchises in horror that made a shitload of money 2 years in a row.
That I've still never watched.
And it's just like, how the fuck do you fuck up that? That's like me or Justin going out with like our dream woman and then just like fucking up the whole night in a comedy of errors. All right, how do you fumble the bag is my point. How do you do it? I mean, we've all done it. Me and Justin have definitely fucked up before. We definitely have.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what it's like. They're going to regret it for the rest of their fucking careers, I hope. But, you know, that's okay. That's okay. We'll be fine. We'll be all right. Scream 6 was a good ending. It works, you know, and we're still going to cover that next. But, you know, it just, I don't know. It's just, I have to kind of appreciate Nightmare on Elm Street for trying to stick to continuity. But
I think throwing new shit into it is what
is the key word
makes
there.
it fucked up to me.
See, and I think it's because, like, Child's Play did the same thing, too. But, like...
Well, when Child's Play started doing it, you were already past the point of, like, okay, anything can happen after Seed, like...
Yeah, well, even with Bride of Chucky, where he was trying to get that medallion, he's like, I was on my body when I was killed. And I'm just like, that you were not wearing that. But, like, but, like, who cares? That's such a small retcon.
It was tucked in his shirt.
It's not like, yeah, right? It's tucked in his shirt. That's such a small retcon that, like, it's not even, like, that big of a deal. It's not like all of a sudden being like, yeah, Freddy's dead, but guess what? There's a kid, so we can come back. Like, it's not like that, you know? It all feels right. And then in Scream, it's super simple since it's just real people. So it's really easy to just be like, oh, yeah, it's just another fucking guy, you know? Like, that's really easy to do. But, yeah, I mean, I have to kind of appreciate it. And they like try to keep things fresh, and I kind of like admire on a level that they keep kind of getting crazier, but I just wish it was more memorable, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I wish it was more memorable, and I wish it had the staying power that those first three have. Well, depending on who you ask, some people think it's only 1 and 3 because they don't like gay people and don't like the second one. But, you know, I don't know, I wish they had that staying power, but no, they just don't. It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I'm sure, you know, within the next few years, this will get a reappraisal just like Halloween 4 and somehow 5 did. Because these aren't the worst movies in the world. And I already think Dream Child has gotten somewhat of a reappraisal, but like, I don't know. These aren't the worst movies in the world. I just wish they were better. I just wish they were a little more memorable.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed this one a little bit more than Dream Master.
Yeah.
Just because the effects were better.
Yep.
And the set design was better. But
I think if they just did away with the whole Amanda Kruger subplot, it wouldn't have been as dumb to me.
yeah, why would you because that's the thing is why would you resurrect that when it already came to its conclusion in the third one? And then they just drudge it back up. I guess it's because the idea that she's going to be a mother or whatever, but like
that's just feels kind of forced.
It feels ham-fisted. It doesn't. You don't have to have Amanda Kruger there to you know hammer it home, brother. You know, it's a damn shame
To be the one that contains Freddy's evil. It's like, well, why weren't you helping in the first 3 movies?
Yeah, why didn't you do that in the third one? I get maybe that's really funny in hindsight because it's like in the third one she's like, you got to give him a Christian burial. So then they do that. And then I'd like to imagine she realizes Freddy comes back and she starts sweating. She's like, oh fuck, what do we do now? And then she's like, okay, I figured it out. I have to absorb him. And it was all in vain because guess what? There's another one. So It doesn't even matter.
The best one.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. And that's a shame.
The only thing you have to wonder about Freddy's Dead and the remake is which one is best.
All right. Anyway, this is Justin's last episode. So, you know, God bless, right? But no, I mean, I don't know. I know these movies aren't really sensical.
At this point, you're just watching to see what Freddy does.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Friday the 13th. You stop watching for plot and start watching for how is Jason going to kill in this next one.
Yeah.
Some people have a sick idea of entertainment. What a great movie Part 6 is. I love Part 6. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a Nightmare on Elm Street.
Number 5.
The Dream Child. But you know how it goes. You know what's next. We get to
Next we watch Five Nights. No,
Five Nights at Freddy.
I actually watched the movie already. Finally,
How was it?
for what it was, fine. But the bug in the back of my brain that knows all the fucking lore was like getting mad the entire time.
See, it's just like watching. Now you know what all those dudes that watched Doom in 2004 felt like, or 2005. That's not how fuck it is. It's not what it is. Not a fucking disease. It's fucking demons, man. Like that's probably how they felt.
Yeah,
That's probably how they felt.
I felt that way too, but at the same time, I didn't care. I still liked that movie
Yeah, well, you know.
enough to watch it every day for like weeks,
You can't win them all.
including the special features.
You can't win
Every
Jesus
special
Christ,
feature.
Justin. All right, anyway. Dream Child has a 30% approval rating and an average rating of 4.12 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes, and the consensus is A Nightmare on Elm Street feels exhausted by this cheesy fifth entry, bogged down by a convoluted mythology while showing none of the chilling technique that kicked off the franchise. Well, yeah, because they're trying to just make money at this point, and I think this one was the lowest grossing. I think might have been this one, but yeah, it wasn't. Oh, it's the same dude that directed Predator 2, huh? That's too bad. That's another movie that it wasn't gutted by the MPAA, but it definitely wasn't
I mean, it got away with a little bit.
But yeah, it was going to be NC-17, and I forgot what in particular pushed it to that, but they had to cut. I think it was when what was he, a drug dealer or a pimp, when he gets his spine ripped out? I think it was that.
Who?
The voodoo guy.
Oh, King Willie?
Yeah, see, you fucking remember. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really like Predator 2, but I haven't watched it in years.
He was like a voodoo priest that led a gang.
Yeah, I haven't watched Predator 2 in like 10 or 15 years. So I don't even. I think there's that part where those two people are fucking in the apartment or whatever, and then everybody just gets slaughtered and the cops get there and they're like, what the fuck happened? I think that was supposed to be a lot more graphic, and they cut a lot of that out. There was just, because I remember that was one of the first times I had heard about a movie that had to be censored because it was too violent. And, again, Evil Dead 2013 exists, and that's why it's funny in hindsight to see that and be like, wow, really? This was gory? like what? Come on, man. And meanwhile, in France, they're fucking flaying people alive and making them to make them see God. What a great movie, huh? But anyway, yeah, this I didn't know this was the same guy that did Predator 2. Anyway,
The most expensive scene in that movie is the end where all the predators are.
yeah, I believe that. But while promoting Predator 2, Stephen Hopkins, the director, expressed disappointment with the final product of Dream Child, stating, "It was a rush schedule without a reasonable budget, and after I finished it, New Line and the MPAA came in and cut the guts out of it completely. What started out as an okay film with a few good bits turned into a total embarrassment. I can't even watch it anymore." Wow. Poor guy.
Yeah.
At least he made Predator 2, which is kind of a cult classic at this point, I feel like.
I mean, most people don't really. I always just see mixed opinions about that.
That's what I'm saying. I think it got a reappraisal, though, at this point. I think.
I mean, anyone will appreciate 2 over the last one that came out, not Prey.
Oh, the Predator?
Yeah, the Predator. Even though I still like it, I still think it was dumb as fuck.
Because it is. Because it is dumb. And then Prey is actually good. That one came out on 4K, didn't it?
Like every time I go to the store, I don't see it, and I get mad.
Probably because it's, I don't know. That's one that when it got announced, everybody was like, I'm buying this shit immediately. So it's probably sold out for that reason. Yeah, you know what? I went to Best Buy recently and didn't see it. Maybe you can only get it on Amazon or something.
No, Walmart sold it.
All right, but it's Walmart, you know? Walmart fucking is stinky, dude. Anyway, Tamperese
Tamperese.
says, worst of the series. This was without a doubt the worst Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Everything about it sucked. The actors, the kills, and even the little kid Jacob was lame. I try and forget this movie ever existed. 2 out of 3 found this review helpful.
I mean, did he forget the next movie exists?
Maybe he hasn't watched it yet. Why Nightmare 5 Blows by Samu Rot74. This is simply the worst movie I have ever seen. Some spoilers ahead, you have been warned. I don't think our audience cares. Here's why Nightmare 5 sucks. The characters were boring and unlikable. The plot was stupid. Freddy wasn't funny at all. It took me 5 sittings to finish this movie.
Jesus Christ.
It was so boring that there's only one scene I thought was tolerable, was the comic book death. But even that scene was just tolerable. And as I said before, Freddy is supposed to be funny. No, he's not funny at all. Nightmare on Elm Street was unique because you had a funny, scary serial killer. I wonder how he feels about Child's Play. But who was going to kill you if you fell asleep. But here the kills were boring, not funny, and unoriginal. This movie blows.
Unoriginal.
It's the worst I have ever seen. Don't watch it. Unfortunately, I can't give this movie a 0, so I'll go as low as possible. The thought of taking a crap on this movie is like putting Rocky in a golden case, and then in parentheses, Rocky's the best movie ever made. Oh my god. First of all, Freddy is a fucking child killer. And it's heavily implied that he was also a diddler. And so he's not supposed to be funny. He's just always kind of had this sense of humor.
He just started being funny.
With part 4.
Yeah.
Three was where it was kind of coming in, but 4 was where it was really like, hoo, I'm Freddy. I don't know, there's 5 sittings, huh? While reading this, I thought of that joke that I told you about where it said, Art the Clown is like if Bugs Bunny wanted you dead. And that popped into my head for some fucking reason. And that's why I started laughing in the middle of that. Because that's true. I think it's because I was thinking to myself, like, I wonder what this guy thinks of Terrifier and, like, you know, Child's Play, where it's a funny serial killer or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what he thinks. It's like a Bugs Bunny wanted you dead. Fuck, that's so funny. Oh my god.
There was like a Terrifier ripoff movie that came out too.
How is there already one of those?
It's called The Jester.
The Jester?
I think that's what it's called.
Oh, fucking Christ. I guess, dude. Anyway, milk the Freddy cow. I don't like the image that
Milk
put into
the
my head.
Freddy
Milk it to last drop. Oh, it's already empty? This bro thought he was so fucking clever. His name's Clone. I think we've heard from him before. Come on. The new twist is nearly okay, but from avenging the Elm Street children, Freddy is just killing people now. Was he what do you mean avenging the... What? More of the same. Special effects with no actual character development or anything. Simply bad and insulting. Scary? Nope, not at all, just bad. Okay. What do you mean avenging the Elm Street children? What?
What? She wasn't trying to avenge anybody.
No, but from avenging the Elm Street children, Freddy is just killing people now. What does that mean? This man is indecipherable. Hey, George, you okay, buddy?
Indecipherable.
And then he's talking about special effects with no actual character development or anything. Bro, it's a slasher. What do you expect?
Most of the characters end up dead.
What do you 3 of them at least, but what do you expect from a slasher? I hated it so badly, says Christina's Rueda. I just hate to say it. The main character is just too annoying, and this has got to be one of the worst movies I have ever seen. Sweet and short. Look at that. I guess, that's fine. The franchise kept going downhill rapidly so, says Kiki Boo 8.
Kiki Boo 8.
As I've already said in the review for the Dream Master movie, Alice simply cannot cut it as a main female lead. Other than that, it's corny, dumb, ridiculous, and uninteresting. There's nothing good about it. When I say good, I mean worth watching for an hour and a half. Not even Freddy himself. It's so sad to see how a once legendary, glorious horror movie sank this low. They lost the best characters, turned Freddy bland and uncompelling, turned the plot into nothingness and ruined the whole thing. And that sucks because I love the first 3 parts of this franchise dearly. They were all downright amazing. This thing simply can't get anywhere near that level, let alone keep up with it. Awesome.
That person's mad. And their name made me think of the fucking Jay and Silent Bob movie
Oh, yeah?
where he calls that girl Boo Boo Kitty Fuck.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, that's the first thing that came to my head after you read that name.
I didn't think it could get worse than part 2. Okay, this person's homophobic. The Shadow 908. This crappy sequel picks up where the 4th movie left off. Alice defeated Freddy, and now she's pregnant. He makes it sound like one of those is a consequence of the other, and that's pretty
Don't
funny.
fight Freddy or you get pregnant.
Soon, Freddy returns, and he begins to work through the dreams of Alice's unborn child. Everything about this movie is bad, and that's all that can be said. And then he writes 3 more paragraphs. Freddy Krueger is too much of a comedian in this movie instead of a scary killer. He constantly makes wisecracks that eventually get unfunny because there's too many. Freddy makes up a whole bunch of stupid ways to kill people that all involve too much gore and terrible special effects. Excuse me? The dialogue in this movie is extremely bad and it starts to get annoying. Another problem is that visually and plot-wise, this movie is way too weird. The acting is terrible. Everyone in this movie must have been rejects from a soap opera because they have no talent whatsoever. Overall, there is not half of a redeeming quality in this movie, and it should be avoided by everybody.
God damn.
Terrible special effects, huh? I disagree. Also, it's funny that this guy thinks Freddy is too much of a comedian.
He just started like destroying his house after he watched this movie.
And everybody else was like, Freddy's not funny. He's supposed to be funny. And this guy's like, I don't like that he's funny. Fuck him. I hate him. Fuck funny Freddy. All my homies hate funny Freddy. Let's look at some 10 stars. One of the best of the series. By Oh Please. This has to be satire. There's no fucking way with a name like that. Okay. I think this think movie is underrated because the horror is more insidious and psychological rather than blatant gore. Alice Johnson is a strong heroine who picks up where Nancy Thompson was regrettably forced to leave off. Does this person not know that Dream Master exists? No one can ever be Nancy, but Lisa Wilcox's Alice is a hallmark of Nancy's greatest attributes, yet also manages to be unique and intriguing. The movie is claustrophobic, and by making the struggle between Alice and Freddy internal, it is all the more compelling. Granted, the supporting characters, with the exception of Yvonne, which I'm assuming is the one that talks too much,
in a weird voice,
are pedestrian and stereotypical. This is definitely a movie for fans of a determined, ingenious heroine. She wasn't Ripley. I mean, she wasn't like bad, but she was better than the last movie, but she wasn't like.
She's not on Nancy's level.
She's not
Get
like.
the fuck out of here.
She's not like one of the best final girls ever.
All her gifts were handed to her, and then she's just suddenly using them.
That was Dream Master, and this one she kind of has an arc, but it's still, but because
it's buried under the fucking Amanda Kruger and baby shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, yeah, Alice doesn't really get to have her own like
defining moment.
Yeah, she doesn't really, because it's all bogged down by previous entries. That's a very good point to make, Justin. Jesus Christ, that's true. God damn, now I'm just upset that they didn't do more with that. That sucks. Man, okay. Alice gets pregnant, and Freddy is using her unborn baby's dream to bring him his victims. That's just a synopsis.
Yeah.
By April, the BKB.
BKB.
What does BKB mean? What do you think BKB means?
Be killing
babies. Be killing babies?
BKB. Yeah, be killing babies.
Well, we know who's pro-choice in this house. Okay, let's start. Alice Johnson is back in A Nightmare on Elm Street 5. This time, she has new friends. That was all one sentence. her and her boyfriend, Dan, from Part 4 are doing well until Alice is on her way to work when she goes to a asylum where Amanda Kruger, Freddy's mom, was raped and gave birth to Freddy. So Alice, this is all one sentence. So Alice entered the church where she last battled Kruger. Jesus Christ. That is one hell of a run-on.
Was his name Dan? We kept calling him Rick the whole time.
I think it's Rick.
I gotta know.
Is it Dan? If it's Dan, I can't believe. That's how memorable he is. If his name's fucking Dan.
Yeah, it's Dan.
I'm gonna shoot somebody.
Who the fuck is Rick?
I don't know. I'm scared now. Rick is just some fucking 80s slasher name, so that's probably why. Okay, so those were two very big run-on
The
sentences.
lady who played Amanda Kruger, her name is Patrice Beppel.
All right. So baby Freddy enters the clothes and Freddy is reborn. Dan dies on the way to Alice's job because Freddy's back. Alice finds out that she's pregnant and Freddy is killing people while she is awake and she doesn't know how he's doing it. Newsflash, Freddy is using Alice's unborn baby to bring him his victims instead of using Alice like he did in part 4. Her friends think she's crazy and going nuts. Alice has to try to save her baby from Freddy before it gets out of hand. Incredible review, dude. That's fantastic.
Powerful stuff.
This rocks, says Reservoir Sim. I know a lot of people didn't like this film, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Freddy shows he ain't scared of anything or anybody. The dreams are really cool, especially the comic book one. That guy really thought he could shoot Freddy to death. That guy got his ass kicked.
This guy just sounds like he was high watching the movie.
That's why I read these, because sometimes you find some gold, man. The posh girl's dream at the dinner table was pretty disgusting, but still cool. I know what kind of fetish he has. I didn't understand some of it, but who cares? That is an incredible admission to make. I didn't understand some of it, but who cares? Bro is like me watching a David Lynch movie. That is 100% me. I didn't get it, but yeah, who cares? It's good. I don't give a fuck. What a good guy, dude. I'd love to hang out with Reservoir Sim.
It's like that one episode of Billy and Mandy where he rinsed the video of the Chupacabra.
Oh, yeah. that kind of rings a bell. I haven't watched that show in so long.
Am I the only one who understands this cinematic masterpiece?
I wasn't disappointed, says Curtius Bezdalas. Okay. Some people complained that they didn't like the plot of this movie. Actually, I think that it was good enough, and the idea that Freddy Krueger is striking through the sleeping mind of Alice's unborn child was pretty clever. Okay, some acts of the characters were ridiculous, but I wasn't expecting them to be clever, because I've watched this film only to see some great visuals and murder scenes, so I wasn't disappointed. If you liked previous parts, then you just have to watch this one, because I doubt that by watching these movies you really care about plot. See, bro knows what he's in for. One of the characters is a huge comic book fan, and I think it's pretty predictable what's going to happen to him. I mean, he's right, but I don't know, man. That's just kind of funny.
It's like people who complain about Terrifier 2 being like too plot heavy sometimes. It's like, are you really watching it for the plot?
Average sequel, says The Creeper, a man who gave this movie a 10 out of 10.
The creep.
We've definitely read one of his before. This is just an average sequel. Nothing bad, but nothing shockingly good. I would recommend it to horror fans who want to get a feel of the series. The black humor actually works this time, unlike Part 4. A really good installment in the Freddy movies is Part 2, 7 out of 10. He gave it a 10. And then he gave it a 7 in the review.
Genius.
Why don't all of you stop saying this movie is bad? Written by Krueger 2. Okay, so this is Freddy Krueger's account. His second account, because his first account got banned because he kept calling people bitch. Yep. So this is his second account. This movie was great. It wasn't. I was gonna do the Freddy voice and then I got scared. I got scared because people are gonna judge me. I can't do it. This movie was great. It wasn't my favorite, but I really liked it. You people do not know what you are talking about. Alice returns to kick more Freddy butt, and there are some really cool death scenes, like the motorcycle, the bon appetit, bitch, which is funny because bitch is censored here, so because he got banned for saying bitch in his first one. So
he learned.
It's okay. And the comic book. Those were all great death scenes. If you were a true horror fan like me, you would agree. What a guy.
Sincerely, Freddy.
Sincerely, Freddy, bitch. Anyway. Okay. The greatest sequel ever made, says Chip Hazard 22. This was the best sequel I ever saw.
Chip Hazard.
That's what a horror movie needs, and what a horror movie needs is horror and comedy combined, and this is the fantastic result, and I'm not kidding. For some newcomers who want to watch Freddy, watch this one. It's great. Don't listen to the reviews saying they're bad. Make your own opinions, and why I like this movie is how the story goes, the death scenes, the music score. Jay Ferguson was very awesome doing the music score for this movie. The music of the soundtrack, like Let's Go. Anyway, I gotta swing it, and Heaven in the backseat, and the way Freddy acted in his lines. That was all one sentence.
I gotta swing it in heaven and the way Freddy acted in the... What?
Watch this movie. It's so great and awesome at the same time. Rating 1,000 out of 10. I'm not joking.
You know what his name is referencing, right?
What?
Chip Hazard. Small Soldiers.
Nice. That's an all-time. That's a certified hood classic right
Yeah.
there. Freddy the Daddy. You could not have picked a worse title.
Freddy the Daddy.
Thanks, Ross Robinson. A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 was made and released in 1989. Alice is back and she become pregnant with her boyfriend's baby. She goes back to her dreams, but Freddy returns to try and kill her and especially her baby. In her dreams, she is carrying Freddy's baby. She discovers that a young boy named Jacob is her son. Freddy's woman is also pregnant, but carrying the wrong baby. What? Alice and her swap, spelled S-W-O-P.
Swap?
They're babies, so Alice will be carrying her baby named Jacob, and the other will be carrying Freddy's baby. What the fuck? What the fuck was that? Ross Robinson, you crazy motherfucker.
They got lost in the movie.
A cool sequel by JP91, our boy. Okay, every fifth part of the famous horror franchises are different than the previous films. I mean, they have a special charming. A Nightmare on Elm Street: The Dream Child is an atmospheric sequel, great performances and an imaginative script. The characters' backgrounds are dark, about the change of the teen life to the adult life, and Freddy knows how to make them easy prey. Also, it deals with issues about the relationships between parents and children. The cinematography is the creepiest of the whole franchise, and the art direction is totally a delight, especially in the nightmare scenes, obviously inspired by the aesthetics of German Expressionism, resulting in high-quality surreal visuals. Great sequel for a strong franchise. This dude was zonked out of his fucking mind when he wrote this, and I love him for it. JP91, you're a fucking legend. I hope I meet you one day, and I'm not joking. I hope I meet you one day. Oh my god. What a dude. I don't know why people hate this movie, says Freaky DC. It was just a good movie. I loved it the whole time I was entertained. That's it. One word.
That's it.
1, 2, Freddy's Coming for You, says Matt's Wife 97.
Matt's wife.
This was an alright movie, a lot better than the second one, you homophobic piece of shit. I think it could have been better, but it still had Freddy's sense of humor and his evil side, and that's all I care about. I like how they continued it for part 4, so people know what is going on. I've seen all the Nightmare on Elm Street movie and love to watch people get butchered up into little pieces. Jesus Christ. I always love those admissions at the end of I just like fucking watching people die. I'm gonna be real. Dark Nightmare, says Jurgen Prochnov. My favorite part from all nightmares. Really dark, dreamy, and brutally climate. What? Alice is great heroine. Music is excellent. Death on Motorcycle is awesome. Cyberpunk in 80s? I don't understand people's opinion about this movie. In those days, we got very bad and not creative movies. And this movie is boiling. It's boiling from creativity. In horror scale, this movie is 10 from 10 stars without doubt. Love this movie. Awesome. Wonderful movie, says JM Hammerstein 980-842-586. This is a wonderful movie. Alice is pregnant and Freddy is able to go after people in their dreams using the dreams of Alice's unborn baby. This is another fantastic movie. All right. Bevo13678 says, nice. I like this one. A real turning point in the franchise.
Wait, did you say BMO?
Bevo.
Oh, Bevo. I was thinking of the fucking game thing from Adventure Time.
Part 5, Scarier Than the First 4, by Jacob John Taylor 1. Don't get me wrong, the first 4 movies of A Nightmare on Elm Street are very scary, but this one is scarier.
Are they?
People complain to mush about the low body count in this movie. Give me a break. The Exorcist is said to be the scariest movie ever, and that did not have a big body count. It was just very intense. The first 4 Nightmare on Elm Street movies are very intense, and this one is even more intense. That is why it is better. When I am watching a horror movie, I do not count the dead bodies, and anyone who does needs to grow up. There are scarier movies than this one. Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare is scarier. This dude writes the same review every fucking time. W.E.S. Craven's New Nightmare is also scarier. That would be part 7, but this is still very scary. It is one of the scariest movies made before 1991.
Is it though?
This movie it has great acting, a great storyline, great special effect. This is a great movie.
Now
See
I just
it.
feel like he's trolling.
It is a must-see. I consider this horror fantasy because Freddy is a ghost.
That's what draws your line to fantasy? Because he's a ghost? Not the fact that he's getting into people's dreams?
Oh my god. Dude,
Okay, then.
he writes the same fucking review every time. I hope he has a review of Martyrs. I fucking hope he has a Martyrs review because I cannot wait. High tension is scarier. This movie is very intense. And then he just goes on and on. Oh my god. Anyway, that's all I got. You got anything else to say, Justin?
Nah. I mean, it's just another Freddy movie. You can take this one however you will. It's fine for what it was.
Just another Freddy movie.
Appreciate the set pieces. That's the best thing you'll get out of this movie.
Yeah, I think in this one in Dream Master, I think the best things about them are the I think are the practical effects.
Yeah,
And that's it.
that's it.
Because the characters aren't as interesting. And,
Except Freddy, because I mean, you can't hate Freddy.
I mean, I like Freddy. And I like Freddy in all the movies except for... Well, no, I like him in all of them except for probably the remake. But
Yeah, fuck the remake Freddy.
and New Nightmare doesn't count because that's not really him. But
That is Freddy.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Don't tell me that.
I'll kill you.
It's Freddy.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
It's Super Freddy.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so that's all we got. Next time, we'll be
Back-
watching Jason
Goes to hell.
Goes to Hell. The final Friday, and final is in big fucking quotes.
Yeah,
Um,
because next he goes somewhere else.
yeah, you'll see. But yeah, this one, Jason Goes to Hell, is probably the most divisive. Even more divisive than New Beginnings, so I'm kind of excited to check it out. And maybe I'll like it a lot. Maybe I won't.
I mean, I like it, but it just had a weird direction.
Hey, man, sometimes that's what you need to do. 9 movies in, bro? Like, I think you
Yeah.
need that. Like, I think you need that more than anything. Fucking 9 movies in. Jesus. I'm
Fuck
excited
if
to
we
watch it.
watched 9 Jason movies, but only 5 Freddy movies.
Yeah, because we started the Friday movies late, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So that way we could get our crossover correct.
Oh, yeah, for when we get to Freddy versus Jason.
Freddy versus Jason. Yeah. Can't wait. But yeah, that's all we got. I don't know.
No,
Eat some beans.
it's something that's not turkey.
Yeah, fuck turkey. All my homies hate turkey. Now, turkey's all right.
It's all right for that day, and that's it.
Well, sounds like Justin is a racist. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he's a
Fuck
birdist.
turkeys.
He's a birdist.
Yeah.
Speciesist.
I'll buy a
Sure.
bird from a pet store and feed it to my cat.
Well, that's just a little rough.
No.
You're like those people that fucking buy mice for their fucking pet snakes. And I'm just like, there's got to be a better way to do this.
Well, you're supposed to buy dead ones, not live ones.
Sometimes they don't.
Well, because some people are dumb. But, like, that's... Depending on the snake, it's not safe to do that in the first place, because the rat could fight back.
Yeah.
Take better care of animals, people.
Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, that's all we got.
Yep.
We'll catch you next time.
Hopefully not 2 weeks later again.
Nah. We'll see. Life is fucking busy all the time. It
Yep.
sucks. But yeah, play some video games, watch some horror movies, sleep
I saw you were playing Resident Evil 6 the other day.
for 3 hours a night. Yeah, me and Kayla are playing it. Because we got to the end of Resident Evil 5. I do not like Resident Evil 5. I found out. I do not like that game at
Why?
all. I don't like it. I don't like it.
It's fine.
All the enemies are fucking too bullet spongy. All the bosses are fucking
No, they're
spongy.
not.
You listen, Justin. We had a hard fucking time in that last chapter. So first of all,
What difficulty are you on?
we were on normal. That's the thing, is we were on fucking normal.
Okay, I will give you that, because I was trying to play 5 again with Juan, and we... it is fucking stupidly harder than I remember
Not
at
just
some
that.
parts.
Not just that, but you have limited ammo sometimes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just like,
Ammo is like non-existent in that one.
I think what
sometimes.
pisses me off is that they wanted to make it an action game, clearly, but they're stuck in the survival horror trappings of limited ammo and you can't move when you shoot and shit like that. And I'm like, man, RE4 is so much better than this.
Yeah, 5 has the worst inventory too.
And yeah, oh god, it made me so mad. There's
The best thing about 5 is it was multiplayer.
yeah, but there's that one boss that we got because we were kind of struggling as time went on, just because we kept getting, because the game just loves to throw these big ass enemies at you that like take a shitload of fucking ammo, and they're just regular enemies, so they love to do that. More so than, and I guess it's because they're like, oh, there's 2 people though, so it'll be fine. But no, it's not. And there's that one boss that's just like the fucking slug monster thing that
What?
you have to like use the flamethrower on.
Oh,
And no matter what we did, we kept running out of ammo because it wouldn't fucking die. We kept bringing out its weak points and burning them, and it wouldn't die. And so it got to the point where me and Kale were just like, we're just gonna fucking buy a rocket launcher, and then we just did that because we didn't want to deal with it. Then we get to the last chapter of the game, which is where you have to fucking do that thing. You have to go through that section with the fucking shit ass bugs. I hate those fucking bugs with their one hit kill move that is not telegraphed well enough. And they have that fucking, because like with the chainsaw guy, there's an obvious
yeah.
and with the bugs it's like, I got you, fuck you. and fucking hate those bugs. And then it's like, just shoot the white stuff. Bitch, you see how fast they're fucking crawling at me? What do you whoo?
I would always just wait for them to like hope they do their lunge attack so I could like kick them or something.
It wouldn't. We never got that fucking prompt. They would just grab us and that's it.
Or as soon as I saw them, I just had a shotgun on them.
Yeah, and then in that same section, they bring out 2 of those fucking minigun bitches, and I'm just like, bruh. And there's a turret. Sure, there's a turret, but like, god damn it, that part was so frustrating.
The part with all the liquors too.
That you can just walk around that.
Yeah, but it was annoying.
I didn't give a fuck about that. It was, and then we get to Wesker. All right, we sequence break it without realizing it, because what's supposed to happen is Sheva's supposed to stay up where she's at and shoot at Wesker while he's coming at you. She's supposed to shoot his weak point. What happened was me and Kale walked across the bridge and activated Sheva's QTE, and then I activated Chris's QTE where he's punching the boulder.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we did that, and then Wesker's weak point would not show up. It would not fucking show up. And we didn't realize we were sequence breaking it until we ran out of ammo and I tried to restart the game. And normally, when you try to restart the game asks you, do you want to overwrite your current inventory? And I would always say no. Guess what? The game didn't do that. So then, when we try to play it again, we don't have any fucking ammo. And the game literally soft-locked us out of it. And then, I'm like, fuck it, we'll just look up the ending. So we look up the ending, we see that we fought Wesker the wrong way. And even in that ending, Wesker's taking like a fucking million bullets to kill. Yeah. And Kale the whole time was like, see what we missed out on? See that? Like, it got to the point where Kale just like fast-forwarded because it was nothing fucking happening except Wesker going, "Wah!" and then getting mad, and then "Wah!" and then getting mad. And then I was like, all right, Resident Evil, and I was like,
I think you had to throw a flash grenade at him.
I'm never going to know. I'm never playing that fucking game again. Never playing that game again. God damn it. What a fucking, I don't know how.
I had almost all the achievements when that game first came out.
I don't know how I beat it in the past. I don't fucking know how I did it.
Yeah, because me and Josh beat it on normal one time and then next professional with no problem.
How the fuck, dude? Anyway, so then we bought Resident Evil 6 on Xbox. We played RE5 on PS5, and then we bought Resident Evil 6 on Xbox because it was like $5. I think it was on sale. And we started playing that and immediately had more fun because Resident Evil 6 is just like leans so hard into being an action game that it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just, because now it controls like a fucking action game and it feels fun. It's a fun little time. God damn it. And I get to be Helena, so, you know, that's okay. It's good for that reason.
The only annoying part about 6 to me was that you're on a boat, like, looking for a bunch of levers, and those stupid, like, slug monsters that constantly come back to life were there.
I think I know what you're talking about. 6 also has one of the most tragic love stories in gaming history with Chris and Pierce, so, you know, that's cool. You know they were monkey fucking. You cannot fucking deny that, Justin. You know they were. No man cries that much for another man unless he was fucking coming inside of him. Okay, trust me. All right. God bless America. I'm glad it happened. It's a good game. Old Chris and Pierce, just buddy.
No, the worst Resident Evil to me is Village.
All right.
And 7.
All right. Go away. Justin. I don't think it's that good.
We'll talk about no original
I'm
ideas.
gonna punch you, dude. I swear to God.
No.
7's fine. 8 is okay. I didn't like it as much as 7, but it's okay.
Everyone played 8 for Lady Dimitrescu. That's it.
But I mean, 7 was good because it was like it was so fucking. It was like such a departure, but it still worked. And then 8. It just felt like it was trying to be RE4 again, but like with the trappings of 7. So it was a little weird. But then RE4 Remake came out, and that one's really good. I got every trophy in that one.
I didn't.
I really fucking like that one. I got every single trophy. And then I played Separate Ways, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. And then,
Yeah.
So I'm excited for Resident Evil 9 and then Resident Evil 5 Remake, which will hopefully be significantly better.
I mean, if it gets the treatment that 4 did, then that will be amazing.
God, a parry system in that game would work fucking wonders.
Yeah, because then there'd be more room to combo with your characters punching each other. Because there was an achievement in the game where you had to like land 3 consecutive melee moves between each character, so you had to juggle a dude around.
That's funny. But yeah, I mean, RE5, it's not fun. I mean, the story's fine. It's just not fun. I did not have, like, me and Kale were getting so frustrated while we were playing it. And 6 is already, like, so much more fun. It's not even funny. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next with the franchise.
Yeah, just hope you don't end Chris's campaign the way I did.
How?
I ran out of ammo and had to beat it with a knife.
Oh my God. But isn't Pierce like supercharged at that point?
He only attacks at a certain point. You have to weaken the damn thing first.
Were you playing by yourself?
Yes.
That's why. Okay. Now it all makes sense. Chris's campaign is really just like Gears of Evil though, and that's fine because it knows what it is. And so far Leanne's campaign is just kind of like, I don't know, it's just action Resident Evil.
Action Resident Evil.
Yeah. Good game. Anyway, that's all we got.
Yeah.
So hopefully y'all don't play Resident Evil 5.
They will.
And have a good time. We'll see you next time. Hopefully not 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on Facebook.
Somewhere.
Follow us on YouTube. Wherever the fuck you get your podcasts, just listen to us there.
Don't eat your cat's food.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to suggest.
I tasted it once.
That's not surprising. Anyway, so yeah, just keep on trucking, keep on gobbling.
Yeah. It doesn't work when you say it.
Because Christmas is coming up, brother.
I got to think of a pun for goblins and Christmas.
Don't be
now.
munching on that Christmas crunch, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I just said.
Gingerbread.
Anyway, all right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, yeah. Whoa.